Good morning, my dear students. The previous classes we have to already discuss the unit loads and the classification of unit loads, and also the different type of unit loads, how we can be the used to this the transfer this materials one place to the another place, and these whole things also will be the discussed in this the previous classes. And these classes we have to discuss the alternative method of materials handling, the how you have to transfer this materials handling alternately, and these procedures also will be the discussed in this the lecture number 6. And these few outlines will be required to this type of materials handling, to this the alternative methods of materials handling, and the pallets, skips and the containers, these things also will be required, and also the alternative methods of materials handling. The pallets, first we have to discuss the what is the pallets, the what is the understand of these pallets. The a pallets, also called the skids, is a flat transport structure, flat transport structure which supports goods in a stable fashions, will the being a lifting by a forklift or the pallet jacks, a front loaders, a jacking device, or the erect crane. A pallet is the structural foundations of a unit loads will allow handling and the storage efficiencies. The basically the required to this the good materials handling structure, that's like the support systems, because you know the different type of stations and the different of buckets, and also sometimes we can see the forklift trucks, that's like the two fork is available the in front of this the forklift trucks, and these forklift trucks will be transfer these materials. Then first we have to record to this the a pallets, these pallets will be placed in this the flat surface, and on this the flat surface we have to give in to this the materials. Basically this will be the very small, very small height, that like the two or not is the two foots, and basically this will be that half foots will be the height will be there, and the pallets, and these half foots will be the very easily to this the movement of materials, and also you have to give in to this the support systems, and just like your the structure, and again these pallets you have to give in the on that like the box systems, and during to this the box you have to very easily given to your the supports, that like or the transfer using to this the forklifts, that like the forklift the two forks will be here, and these two forks will be given to this baskets under this like this pallets, and during to this the pallets you have to movement to this the materials the upward direction very easily, and basically the forklift trucks will be used, this will be the lifting, lowering, and also the horizontal movements also will be there, and sometimes we have to given to this the different type of jack, and this jack also will be given to this the support, and this will be lifting, lowering, and front loader also will be using by the pallet. The front loader, that like the we can see the different the fruits buyer, and or the fruit seller, this person will be in the here, and this is the first the transfer to your the storage to this the sitting place, and during to this that sitting place you have to give in to this the support on this the skids, and this foods basket will be placed on this the pallet, and another the jacking device also will be used to the pallet, or the erect crane, this crane, this will be the placed on this the to this the pallet, and the pallet is the basically the wooden structure, and the wooden structure this will be not so many costly, and this is the small cost, and also the not the high quality wood will be required to during the production of this the pallet, and basically the scrap type of woods, that like the in our the scrap type of woods, that there is the not the very high quality wood will be required, and this will be these pallets will be used not will be the so many times will be used, and this is the not is the so many high cost, and the pallet skids and containers are the most commonly used the unitization device, referring in this the previous classes, the basically the how the pallets will be used to this the unitization process and also the unit loads and the both the pallets and skids are the platform types device used for the forming the unit load on the platforms and this you can see that this is the pallets and the basically the few wood will be there and also creating to this the baskets and the lower end there is the on platform types and this is the on the materials not will be the fully the pellets and few times you can see that this end the we have to given the on lock supports and also this will be the movement the during to this the soft floor and this soft floor movement we can found this the pallets and during to your the materials you have to the movement but notice the rough surface you cannot be transferred the materials the so many the not 50 millimeter 50 meters cannot be movement or the on 2 meters cannot be movement without during to this the rough surface during to this the soft surface you have to the movement the 1 meter 2 meters very easily during to this your the materials is the loading on the this place and again this will be movement to this way the pulling some force and the another places you have to given the on hooks and the hooks will be act on this point and also this will be on pulling the another person will be the pushing and very easily the transfer materials and another things you can see the pallet is the it is the essentially a platform used for assembling the storing and the handling of materials as a unit and basically the assembling times the these pallets will be the very much essential and the storing time also will be the very much essential is the pallets and this is the very less effort will be required to this the person because of this type of loading or this the storing this is the done by this the manual labor and the manual labor this persons will be required to this the less effort the during to this the assembling and the storing and handling of materials of the unit and the load essential features of a pallet is that the fork of a lift trucks that can be inserted at the bottom sides of the platform. You can see that this is the bottom side of this platforms. You have to place to this the lift and then you can be easily easily to this the lifting and also this type of materials you have to taken to this the handle and sometimes we can see the fast lifting is the very difficult and during to this the lifting times lifting times you have to record to this the pallet and after that this person will be the hold this materials and also this will be very transfer from this the one place to the another place then this will be the essential for this the lifting and as like as the lowering times will be required the not will be the in your the hand hand on this hand this type of materials will be the loaded then this will be difficulties on the dangerous things will be created during to this the manual the labor and also the sometimes we can see the some the muscle pressure also will be done during to the hand legs that this will be the injurious will become we have to avoid this the injuriness and also this will be avoid to this the danger dangerous things that like the safety will be the purpose that we have to use to this the pallets and the platforms with the pallet is the resting on the floor and thus can raise the pallets will the load and move to the desired place and this will be required to your the materials will be transferred to this the desired place that is the according to the which places you have to the storage your materials smoothly and there is the no the difficulties arise on this point then you have to record that this person also the safely and there is the no dangerous or the no hazardous environment and or that there is the no cracking on your hand on your legs will be found then you have to avoiding this type of accidental issues what you have to use to this the pallet to storage your materials to the desired place when not in use can be stacked on above the others and the skids also will be used to your the transfer materials the skid is the it is essentially a platform provided with legs so that the platform tracks may get inside it and raise it from the ground and sometimes you have to consider to this the ideal under that like the Dolly's type systems also will be given. And during to this the this skids, during to this the skids, the lower part of this skids you have to given the one or two wheels you have to putting, and during to this the wheels, the one handled or the on sticks also will be there, and during to this the sticks you have to pulling some force. First you have to putting this materials on this on side on the skids, and also you have to getting some force to this the lower end. That like the in including of these skids, you have to lower end you have to putting some wheels, the two or three wheels, just like the dollies. And this type you have to easily movement from this the one place to the another place. It is essentially a platform provided with legs so that the platform trucks may get inside it and raise it from the ground. And basically the inside of this the platform tracks will be the available, and during to this the platform tracks, and you have to putting this materials, the during to the inside is the raise from the ground, and the skids are those single faced and non stackable, and the pallets and skids may be classified as flat, box, or the post types. And the post types is the having either fixed or removable corner post to help restrain the loads. And basically this will be required to this the restrain of this the loads, and also the few to the box types also will be there. And you can see the different type of cartoon, that's like the egg box and also the apple box, and this will be the very easily we can see the different type of railway platform. In the hawkers corner also will be the available that this type of materials will be transferred, and by using to this the box types and also the flat types of skids also will be used to this the transfer this materials. The post type is the having either fixed or the removable corner post to help resistance to the loads. The different designs of pallets and skids are commonly made of lighter materials like the wood, plywood, chipboard, aluminum, plastics, rubber, and the rarely by steel. Basically, this type of this type of equipment is used to this the hawkers corner, the hawkers places also. This person cannot be given to this the high cost of the equipment. For this and also these persons will be required to this the relaxation or the easiness. And during to these places this will be the very essential, because of this weight will be the lighter, and also the cost also will be the less cost. And the plywood and the chipboard, aluminum, plastics, rubber, rarely steel will be basically used in this the different production industry. And just like the railway industry also will be used to this the steel type of skids. And the construction may be rigid or collapsible to permit easy return, and this will be the basically the easy return procedures also will be required. Either these materials or this type of skids cannot be used in our industry. And the skids you can see that this is the on skids will be given, and you can this is the scrap type of wood, and the not is the very good type of woods also will be used. And basically the plywood and also the cheap type of wood will be the very least cost for this for the sawmill. And basically the sawmill we can see that this type of wood will be the not is the teak type of wood will be used, and basically the local uses woods will be used to this the provided the skids. And sometimes you can see the auction, the different type of low quality wood will be sold in the auctions, and the manufacturer of the skids will be purchase to this the low quality suits from this the auction. And also this the first will be created to this the plywoods, and also the the sawmill this will be this type of skids also will be prepared, and this can be sent. And also that another things will be the container. Container is the very mass essential for this the transfer of materials from this the one place to this another place. And basically the different type of containers of the various size from the small or to large made out of the divorce. And you can see from this the small scale industry, then this will be the not purchased to this the container, and those person will be the only the hiring on this the container. And this container will be transfer materials the properly, and also there is the no difficulties, and there is no the tension will be comes to this how this materials will be the safely transfer or not, and then this container will be the easily transfer this materials from this the one place to the another place, and then this the different type of containers of various size of this small scale industry also will be the made out to this the materials like the sheet metals. The sheet metals will be transferred through the container. In order the first year students also the buy this sheet container. That's like the in order the engineering drawing classes, the one sheet container will be available, and during to this the sheet container you have to the putting this sheet inside of this the sheet container. Then you can be bring the in your home to the college, and return your home, and this place there is the no difficulties arise, and this sheet will be not break during to your the local trains. Okay, that like the our local trains is the very hazardous environment, that like the so crowded place in the local train, and inside of this the local train you can be very easily movement in the seat without break, without damage, but this seat meters will be used to this the transfer from this the one place to the another place required to this the seat container. The wire net, and the wire net also will be the this will that like the sheet, and you have to round on this that like sheets, and also this the wire net will be the put up inside of this the wire net containers, and also these containers will be the movement safely, because of the wire net sometimes will be those person will be handled, then this person will be face some the dangerous situation, because of the wire net may be cut your hand or the different hand legs, and the different the bleeding can be come out from this you have to handle this the wire net without the wire net containers. Then you have to avoid this hazardous environment, you have to putting to this the wire net inside of this the sheet container, and sometimes you can see the different type of the thin wooden sheets. Thin wooden sheets can be transferred during to this the container, and the plastics can be transferred to this the sheet containers, and the rubber type of materials will be transferred during to this the container. Either this rubber will be the break the any times, and the paper, you can see this the paper, this will be transferred during to this the paper container, that like your drawing sheets, because of this will be the paper etc. are used for the unitization of loads in industry. The term of containers include parts bin, tote pan, and this will be the parts of the bin, tote pans, and the tote box, pallet box also will be used to this the handle your materials properly. And sometimes you have to consider to this the bulk container, and you can see the bulk container, that like the bulk type of materials can be transferred from the one place to the another place, then you have to require to this the bulk container, that like in order the oil tanker, that like you have to consider the one type of container, and you have to transfer the oil from this the one state to the another states, then you have to require to this the bulky, and this oil also will be the transfer from this the one place to the another place, that like will be the bulk type of containers. And the cargo containers will be considered during to this the cargo container, that like the shipyard in will be the cargo, the large quantity of materials will be transferred to this the one country to the another country, and during to this the cargo type of container you have to putting the first you have to record to this the unitization loads, not is the unit load, because of the so many different type of materials you have to putting the in or the cargo, and require inside of this the cargo you have to the first required to this the unitization loads, and also you have to transfer materials very easily from this the one country to the another country. And the cargo containers you have to record the loading, the so many days, and also the unloading places, the same things also will be required the during to this the unloading positions, the during to this the cargo containers. And the van shipping, and the shipping containers also will be the use the inside the country, the one state to the another state, the transport through the transport materials through the shipping way, and this will be required to this the shipping container. The during to this the shipping container, you have to transfer your materials the very safely, and the least cost also will be there, because of the ship always the least transport cost also will be there, because of the there is the less type of fuel also will be used to this the shipping, and during to this the shipping container you have to also used as a the container when you have to transfer materials the large quantity, not is the small quantity, and sometimes you can see the oil will be transferred from this the cargo as like the ship from this the one country to the another country, and during to these times you have to the use the shipping containers, and containers are of the different designs, and you have to require to this the design is the much more essential when you have to transfer your materials. During to this the container will be required to this the design the different sizes, and sometimes we have to see the in our nearest country, that like out the Bangladesh, and out the Kolkata to Bangladesh, some few types of materials will be transferred, like the oil, wheats, and the different type of crops also will be transferred to this throughout the nearable countries, the Bangladesh, like the on port, this type of materials will be the transferred, and also the different type of crops will be transferred, and also these crops will be required to this the container, and also there is the no leakage also comes during to this the ship containers, or the because of this ship this type of materials will be go to the river, or the these materials will be the fully lost, and this may be the top open, maybe top open covered, and sometimes you can consider during to this the open and also the covered, and when the crops will be transferred, then you have to record to this the covered, and sometimes we have to the bulky loaded materials, that like the iron, cast irons, and the all the all types of materials will be transferred from this one place to the another place, then you cannot be required to this the covered or the covered, and then this will be the open, will be top open also will be there, the hinged gated bottom the for easily discharge, and sometimes we have to require to this the easily discharge procedures will be required during to this the container, and either you have to loading and unloading both times will be the same times will be required, and for this the discharging will be the bottom is the easy, then there is the unloading times will be the less, for this will be the benefited for this the transfer of these materials, and another things on legs or the wheels for easy movement through equipments or manual efforts, etc. Small containers are generally handled manually and moved on platform trucks, and sometimes we have to require to this the platform trucks, that this container will be the movement very easily. This like that like you have to consider in your the platform trucks, that like out the airport we have to very easily seen to this the platform trucks, that like the on trucks will be here, that this will be rotate inside of this the airport, there is the knot to this the outside of this the airport, we cannot be movement on this tracks, and sometimes we can see in the big railway platform also the inside the platform tracks also will be the available, while the large container they handled and moved by the forklift trucks also, and sometimes we can see the large container, and that like the knot will be movement in or the human effort, then you have to record the movement to this the forklift trucks, and also this will be heavy loaded the containers will be movement to this the forklift trucks, and tractors or cranes, cranes also will be required to this the movement of our the containers, and the many containers are so designed that they can be stacked and above the other will empty or the even loaded, and you can see that this is the different type of pallet kits also will be given, the this type of materials, and the alternative this type of materials you can see, and there is the skids box wooden, and the drop bottom box, and the skid mounted hoppers, and the skid box meters, this will be seen in the these figures, and the another will be the alternative methods of handling, and basically you have to know the what is the alternative methods of handling. There are the alternative methods of handling unitized loads without using unitizing device like the pallets, skids, container and racks. And this is called the alternative methods of handling. Basically, the already we have to discuss the unitized loads and how it can be transferred to the skids, pallets, and again things will be required to the alternative methods of handling. The these alternative methods make use of different attachment. The different attachment is used under without the skids and pallets, under these different type of attachment to used in conjunction with the materials handling equipments like the forklift trucks, crane, etc. The forklift trucks will be considered according to this the materials handling equipments, and this will be the used in the conjunction with materials handling equipment like forklift trucks, crane, and sometimes we can consider during to your the crane. The crane can be very easily handled in this the materials, and also this will be the lowering, lifting and horizontal movement also will be can be found during to this the crane. And handle method are generally single terms. These unit loads which are handled by those method are generally single items or unitized loads of regular size and shapes like the rolls, bales, cartons, bag, etc. Circular shaped loads with, with a hole in it like a coil, wheel, pipe, etc. may be lifted by a ram type attachments by a forklift trucks. And basically the forklift trucks you can see the in front of this the trucks we can the two lift will be here, and the during to this lift the first we have to loading this materials, and also the heavy loaded materials will be transferred to this the loading the, and the first will be required to this the lifting and also this will be the lowering. Because of this will be movement to this the vertical movement also will be there. During to this the vertical movement there is the very difficulties will become fast during to this the vertical movement, because of the you have to fast to the rising or the lifting these materials, then this will be some pulling the lifting condition and pulling few force, then this materials will be the movement easily. Then this is the very difficult to this is the lifting, then lifting and lowering, this will be vertical movement will be the difficult. And the crane we can see that these cranes will be also the lifting, lowering and will be there. And this will be the heavy loaded is created, not will be the small load will be required. Because of the small load the human beings also will be the shifting these materials. And sometimes you can see the hydraulic systems also will be required to this the movement of materials from the one place to the another place. And the loads unit regular size and the shapes like the rolls with and sometimes we have to the regular size and as like the irregular size and the rolls, bells, the carton bags, etc. you can be not transferred by this the human effort and the skids and the pallets, then you have to use to this the forklift, and also the this type of crane, coil, the wheel pipes, etc. may be lifted by a ram by attached of a forklift trucks. And the alternatively is sealing round the load may be made by a rope chain passing through the hole and then suspending it from the ceiling by a forklift trucks or crane. Thus, cylindrical loads like paper rolls, drum, etc. may be picking up using cylindrical clamp type attachment on the forklift trucks. Loads like cartons, bale, etc. can be handled by squeezing action of straight clamp. Basically you have to record to the squeezing the action of straight clamp attachment. Some of this attachment have been discussed under the forklift truck attachment. And the different type of tongs are used, and the different type of, and another thing we can see the cartons base, and this will be the required to handle these materials because of or the different type of materials when cannot be transferred the one way the without carton, this will be the damage when you have to transfer from this the one place to the another. That's like the fruits and eggs, and this type of materials we cannot be transferred one place to the another place without the cartoon, or and the base will be the scrap type of materials cannot be transferred without the base. The because the scrap type of materials first you have to concentrate to this the on the base, and you can be easily, and sometimes you have to record the squeezing and the action of the straight clamp, and then some of this the attachments have been discussed, and another thing is that different type of tongs are used to this the alternative method of handling, the conjunctions with the crane for lifting and moving. Many type of unit loads are shown in the figure. You can see that this is this is the used by this the cranes will be handled, and also that this is the on hooks also will be available, and this will be the loaded by the or lifting or the moving the by this the crane. And another things you have to advantage of using those alternative methods are the no need of moving weighty and bulky device like the pallets, container, etc. The basically the pallet container skids, this will be required the to this the handle, and the but there is the no needs the this type of equipment, this type of the moving weightly and bulky device will be required. The lower operating cost will be the alternative method of materials handling, and sometimes we have to consider the different alternative way you have to concentrate when you have to transfer these materials during to your the according to your the choice, and sometimes you have to the not only for choice according to the list of your the transportation cost, that this will be the concentrate to this the alternative way to this the handle of materials from this the one place to this the another place. Some just like that the no need of moving weight and the bulky device like the pallet, container, etc. will be used, and the lower operating cost and the flexibility in storage, as warehouse are not limited to a few size of palletized and the containerized loads. And you can see the sometimes the warehouse will be required when the storage in or the container, but the sometimes the few places will be the locked by this the skids or the pallets, and then you cannot be required that this type of the storage things or the warehouse, and the basically the this warehouse it will be the limited space will be available, then the this limited space will be covered by this the pallet or skids. How you have to transfer the materials properly, then the flexibility storage as warehouse are not limited to the few size of palletized containerized loads. The disadvantage of alternative methods, these are the not suitable for less than unit loads, and we cannot be used to this the small quantity of materials handling from this the one place to the another place, that we cannot be used in your the alternative methods of materials handling. And also this alternative methods of materials handling also will be used to this the large quantity of materials, then the this is the difficult, and that like the not the all times we have to use the large quantity of materials from this the one place to the another place. Sometimes we have to transfer the or the maximum times we have to transfer the small quantity of materials from this the one place to the another place. For this this is the very much difficult the during to this the small quantity of materials when we have to transfer. There is the no these are not suitable for less than unit loads, and the max size loads cannot be stacked effectively. And next classes we have to discuss the packaging for materials handling. Thank you.